Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video by Scalar in regards to interview segment. We know you are all worked up and trying to get your preparation game tight to crack the next interview. Don't worry, we got you covered. If you are trying to tap your fluency during the interview, you have landed on the right video. But before we get into the drill, do make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more preppy videos by Scalar. Alright, so we understand it gets a little awkward when you are addressing people you have never met before with holding the power to choose you for their firm. It surely is intimidating. Like it was before I got in front of this camera, knowing I'm going to speak to a camera that will make my voice reach out to people I don't even know. It is awkward. It is worrying because the way we humans are wired, we judge ourselves before anyone else has the opportunity to judge us. So we play what we want to say in our heads before we say it out loud. And boom, there goes our fluency in vain. But don't you worry, it's not just you, it's the contemplation that is very common with us. The urge to sound smart and confident is also the reason to not be able to sound like one because we get caught up in the thought of it. So this is exactly why we are here to prepare our minds to not give in to the momentary fears and awkwardness and let our true potential surface as we speak. So let's break down the factors that are involved in order to be fluent in an interview. Starting off with hesitation. You could be lying to us but not yourself that you might have nodded yes to something you didn't know about. Or laughed at a meme that all your friends were laughing at even though you didn't quite catch the joke. Won't lie, been there, done that myself. But all of this is still alright when it's happening around your peers. Make sure you don't hesitate to admit something you don't fully understand or know answers to. Your interviewer is no one but a human after all. We are no Wikipedia to know it all. The moment you hesitate to vocalize something that you don't fully understand, it's just going to be downfall of a made up answers from there on. And your interviewer is going to know. Yes, they do say fake it till you make it, but not at the cost of looking stupid after being busted for being fake. So you, my dear friend, don't hesitate opening up about things you don't know. Don't hesitate to ask questions you didn't fully understand at first. But what you could do instead is say, when you don't know an answer to something technical, put yourself in a position of what you would actually do if you had time to figure its meaning out. It's natural. You would sit down and look it up, research and educate. So just be upfront about it and say what you would do even though you don't know about it now. The interviewer will be aware that you are a keen learner and not someone who would be demotivated by just one unknown query. Be verbal and be you. If you are flawed, embrace them so that the interviewer knows that you are not giving into some sort of pretense that might drag you down later. This move will just reflect how headstrong of a personality you have and how much ownership you actually have. But also don't go with this mindset that yes, I will just say I'll do research for every question they are asking. Make sure you save this move for queries that you actually don't know about. Next up, judgment to oneself. This one runs deep into our bones since our very childhood. Be it being on the stage giving your annual day performance or giving answer in front of your entire batch for Vivas or having your relatives request you to perform something. We subconsciously always think about what others might perceive us as. Would we look dumb? Would we look like we are overdoing something? We end up cringing on ourselves way before we actually find out our true potential. And this is what pretty much happens when we enter that room with four walls and the board sitting in front of us waiting for us to form an impression. But honestly, if you thought about it, it's more of a leverage than a drawback. Originally, these individuals know nothing more than what's mentioned in your resume. So you could choose who you want to be. You could be someone none of your friends or family have ever seen. Unleash that side of yourself. Overpower the judgment your mind is throwing at you and just speak of what you would believe is needed to be said. When you are with a group of friends discussing your goals, you don't judge yourself for how unreal a benchmark is set. You have no reason to be afraid in front of your interviewer's judgment towards you. They interview every second person from your field, they come across all sorts of answers. The only way you can leave a significant impression is by being yourself, free from unnecessary judgments. So say goodbye to it. Speaking of goodbyes, this is what you need to say goodbye to. Comparisons. Comparisons won't do any good. We know that the competition out there is insane. With an industry with such a cutthroat competition, you will end up wondering how you are better than your batchmates, let alone the entire set of people in this industry. While a little kick from this competitive approach can boost your urge to learn and excel, you need to understand how to balance this out. Don't compare yourself with the rest, but instead sit down and make a list of skills you possess. your abilities to perform, how you can function under pressure, how you have functioned as a team player and solo. Focus on the brighter side of things. Tunnel vision will blur out so many possibilities that might work in your favor. Drop that comparison. So what, your friend is good with a specific programming language. You see how much you have excelled on your learning and you shall absolutely ace your interview. The only way you can be a true version of yourself and be hired for who you are and the qualities you have is by acknowledging who you truly are and vocalize it in your interview. It is either now or never. This brings us to our fourth point, striking conversations. We get so caught up in impressing the interviewer, we tend to forget how to indulge with the company. Interview may seem like you are the only one entitled to answer questions, but it can honestly flow both ways. Companies not only want to know if you are fit for the role you are offered, but also want to learn if you are inclined towards the company. Your loyalty and dedication will after all root from that inclination. So make sure you make a list of questions you would like to ask your interviewer. Don't focus on the perks of the company that has to offer you, because eventually you will land the job there, and once you do that, you will know what the offers are. But try and build curiosity towards the functioning of it. Go on their website, learn about the people who are involved in the making of the company. Make sure to mention them and drop appreciation by acknowledging their contribution and how you have followed their work. Ask them about their approach and their vision. Respond to it by how you would be able to contribute to achieving that vision. Mention how you are not just focusing on self-growth but wish to grow with the company. These conversations will help you stand out from the rest because you took that extra mile to learn the company better. You strike conversations with them rather than a Q&A session. Take it from us. A conversation with your interviewer will raise your stakes to be remembered than just another candidate robotically answering questions and leaving the room. We don't want to miss out on our introvert mates, so here's what you can do. If you are an introvert, it's a whole new level of challenge when you are entering a room full of strangers who will judge you on your communicational skills and your ability to vocalize your learning and achievements. We understand that, and we don't want you to feel that we don't get how it's slightly more stressful for you than the rest. Don't overthink it. Utilize the time to prepare for unpredictable circumstances beforehand. We all have that one go-to person. Strike fake interview session with them to loosen up a little bit. If you are someone that is uncomfortable even with that, try and record yourself while answering questions that you are preparing for. Notice your body language. Check if you are looking uncomfortable and try to work on these little details so you don't come off as underconfident on your final day. As an introvert, random questions can really catch you off guard, so make a list of accomplishments that will potentially work as an answer to many common questions. Try to fit them as a starting response so you can earn some breathing space to make up the rest of your response in your head meanwhile. Prepare one interview at a time since it can get really taxing to interact with multiple people on same day. Being an introvert is not a downside of your personality. In fact, it makes more room for thoughtfulness and creativity when you are in your own zone and less interactive. So pick your aces right and mark a remarkable impression by flaunting your learnings and abilities. Coming down to the most important factor to ensure fluency, confidence. Confidence is your crown. You cannot miss out on this factor ever. Confidence wouldn't be something you'll be able to vocalize like your achievements, but something that will reflect as you speak about your skills. Here are a few basic techniques that will help you come off as a confident individual. Maintain eye contact with your interviewer. It makes the conversation a lot more personal and honest. Your eyes naturally reflect the emotions you are feeling, and eye contact with your interviewer will help them understand the emotions you are talking with. Have a pleasant smile on your face. Let them know how humbled and pleased you are to be in the room sharing presence with them. Don't overdo it though, keep it authentic. The best version of yourself will only reflect when you are fully embracing yourself. Keep your body language in check. Avoid fidgeting. Don't touch your head too often. Don't break your knuckles. You are nervous, you know that, we know that, but they don't need to know that. Also make sure that you are aware of your rate of speech. It's usually when we are nervous or feeling a rush, our rate of speech increases. Even if you are someone who speaks fast in general, make sure you slow down a little so that you are audible and clear. Don't let your habits cause a misconception in your interviewer's head that you are rushing out of nervousness. Lastly, remember, it's not a grammar test. No, you're not applying for a visa test or an English speaking test for you to be nervous about your language fluency. Just remind yourself about the fact that English is not our first language And even though it's commonly used, it's because communication goes seamless in a professional environment with people coming from different corners of the world. When you are responding in English, the interviewer is not scaling your skills on the basis of how fluent your language is, but they're just trying to see if you can carry out basic communications with it. If you end up focusing on sounding grammatically correct, you might end up sounding robotic, trying to put words together. Let your talk flow, speak value, not words. If you keep your head caught up in insignificant factors of the interview, you might miss out on focusing on other things that truly matter, that the interviewer is truly interested in knowing. Before we wrap the video up, we will quickly share a real story that one of my team leaders shared with me once on my first job. It was a story from his interview with the board. He entered the room with a bright smile, positive attitude, and wished the board good morning. That's basic etiquettes, right? One of the members from the board responded, "What exactly about this morning do you find so good?" What would you even do with a response like that over a casual morning wish? Are you going to sit there and frame a sentence to sound smart and correct, or let them see your confidence has pretty much sank with that response of them? I say be honest. That's what my team leader did at the time. He didn't try to sound smart or say something creative. He simply said, "I woke up this morning and I had the pleasure to meet you and strike this conversation with you. That makes my morning good for me." The point is that not everything has to sound smart or has to be related with your work profile or job opportunity. Some responses also involve talking about you, how you will be as an individual in certain situations, and not an employee representing a firm. So present all possible version of yourself and let the interviewer know you better. Your flaws and inefficiencies about certain things will be overlooked if you express your passion to learn and improve each day. And that's what truly matters to a company. Now you go and pick your best outfit and your favorite shade of shirt from your wardrobe and ace that interview you're panicking about right now. We know you got this, we really do. Just take a deep breath, stop questioning yourself and start embracing yourself. All the love and luck to you. We hope you crack that interview. For more such prep videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Scaler. Peace.